This is Jordan Cooper, president of the American Lutheran Theological Seminary. I just want to give a quick update on the accreditation process that we are currently going through. As I speak with students and potential students, I'm often asked questions about our school being accredited. And this is something that the American Lutheran Theological Seminary has really wanted to seek since its founding in the beginnings of the AALC in the 1980s. And we have now really begun the process of accreditation. Not only have we begun that process, but we have gone through our first really significant step toward accreditation. We are currently working with the Association for Biblical Higher Education, which is an accreditation agency that is recognized by the U.S. Department of Education as one that is able to accredit degree programs offering bachelor's and master's degrees. Now, the American Lutheran Theological Seminary began working with the Association for Biblical Higher Education a couple years ago. We looked through a number of accreditation agencies and tried to figure out what would fit our program best. And after doing that, we settled on the ABHE. Their values aligned with ours, and they've worked with other similar programs, especially distance education programs that are theological in their intent and in their focus. So we began going through the beginnings of that process, what's called the pre-applicant status. And essentially, the ABHE gives institutions 25 conditions of eligibility. And so there are 25 requirements that you need to meet, and you need to demonstrate that you meet those through documentation, as well as writing a narrative of exactly how it is that you have met those particular standards. And so we worked through those 25 conditions of eligibility, and that was reviewed. Those materials that we sent in were reviewed by the ABHE, and then this summer we were approved to move on to the next step of the process, which means that we have moved from pre-applicant status now to applicant status. And so what does that mean for the future? Now, if you're not familiar with the accreditation process, it's not a fast process. And this is something that I encounter when I talk to people about accreditation. People say things to me like, well, why aren't you already accredited? Doesn't a school start with accreditation? And that's just not really the case. So accreditation takes a significant amount of time and documentation, and you need to actually have students that have graduated from the program to be able to do that. So it's not something that happened right away, but it's something we've been working toward for a significant period of time. So what are the next steps then in this process as we move toward accreditation? Well, there are a number of things that we have to do as a seminary, as an institution, that are going to then move us from what is now applicant status to candidate status. And there's not an exact timeline for candidate status. The estimate is about 4 years. We're hoping it'll be less than that, but really that just depends on how quickly we can do things and what the ABHE approves, of course, in terms of where we're at. And then after you reach candidate status, you then work toward accredited status, and then you are recognized as accredited. Now, I know sometimes people use the term fully accredited as if candidate status is kind of a partial accreditation. And while I think there's probably some truth to that in some ways, partially accredited and fully accredited are not really accurate terms. So you're either an accredited institution or you're on your way to accreditation. So we are currently one of those institutions that is on our way. So we're going to get there. We're working our way through it, and we'll give you updates as we are going. But we're really excited to be working with the ABHE on this. They've been a great partner for us so far, and we're excited to continue working through this process. If you want more information about our seminary, make sure you do go to alts.edu. We do offer Master of Divinity programs, as well as an MAR, a Master of Arts in Religion, and a Master of Arts in Theology program. So all of those are available to be taken online. We do our courses in the evenings for the most part, though there are maybe some exceptions to that through Zoom, and it's in a classroom setting. You're not just, in other words, watching lectures and writing things on your own. We try to mirror the classroom format in our program in the best way that we can, and we do that through Zoom. We do have some opportunities as well for students, especially MDiv students, to be able to meet in person. So make sure you check out the website so you can see more information about us so you can stay connected to us and the things that we do. And make sure you also stay subscribed or subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you can follow updates on here. Thanks so much, and God bless.